going for the, well, we'll call it a hip sadhana or hip journey in yogic terms. Essentially, it's been quite a few years I've had some issues with my knee from injuries. We'll just say high impact sports, leave it at that. But these things can take effect, and it's nice to know that there's ways to get around it or that you can remedy it with the right yogic practices. So the first thing we'll do is just take a base pose here. So placing a block behind our back, just really so we don't get cold on the wall more than anything else. And hands to the side. Now first we'll start with window wipers. So side to side, just both feet. Getting circulation going there in the ankles, toes, knees. And the first thing we'll do is action the knees. This is a really unique knee practice that you can do. And you obviously can't, there's no muscle in the kneecap itself, but the muscles around it you can strengthen the following way. Place your hand here on the knees and do a deep inhale breath, flexing everything around the knee, quad, everything there, tight as you can. Then exhale, release. So keep doing this a couple times at your own pace. Just using the breaths, closing your eyes, sending the breath to the knees there. Exhale, release. It feels really nice, and it's a very, very effective way to give a reset to the knees. So keep going. You can hold the breath as long as you like on the inhale. And just slowly releasing. One more time. And there we go. So now we've worked our knees. And now we'll go for another rather different approach for the hips, using the tension that's already there. So place your feet into butterfly, have the soles of the feet together, place your hands on top, and we'll again be working with the breath here. So we're pushing down gently, using the hands on gravity. Exhale breath, wherever you're comfortable. And then once you're there at your sort of limit or comfort point, then release the hands quickly and you'll get a bounce. So it's I call this one the butterfly bounce. So keep going, close the eyes again. Exhale breath, and just quickly release so you get the bounce. And a few more times. This one's nice, you can do it 10 or 20 times. It's not forcing or straining because you're just working with the tension that's already there. As you're repeating, visualize with the exhale as your knees are going down towards the mat, that your knees are moving closer to the mat. Whether they are not today, it's okay. But just giving that general idea of visualization helps a lot on the journey to getting flexibility here in the hips. This last time, just press down gently, hold it there for a little while, keep breathing normal. We're just letting a little gentle insistence take perhaps the knees a bit further closer to the mat, or staying where you are, you're comfortable, and then exhale release. Okay. We'll go back out for window wipers, side to side. And to break it up a little bit so we're not on the wall the whole time, we're going to lay down on the mat now. So laying that flat on the mat, heels and everything on the mat, and you're going to take your right foot right behind your right glute, the opposite foot, left foot, just above the kneecap there, and then lace the hands through, catching the top of the shin, or if you have to, you can do the thigh if that's more comfortable. And then just move a little bit for the camera here. The head's not chopped off in the vertical view. And then lace through, or thread through, and then let the head drop back on the mat. And with the exhale breath, pulling both legs towards you, feel the opening in the air in the upper hip, or an upper thigh rather, in the hip area. Just stay here. And again, with a gentle progression with the exhale breath, and we find a little more space. And then again, always stay where you're comfortable, You can maintain a yoga smile, but you feel like you're getting some activation and results out of the pose, or benefits out of the pose. And then release. Keep the knees up high, lace the fingers together, relax any tension there in the lower back, just a little knee hug side to side. And now opposite side, dropping the right heel down, left heel there just above the knee, and again, threading through, catching the shin or the back of the thigh, whatever works better for you. And just gently placing the head back on the mat. And again, with the exhale, let breath, progressing both legs closer and closer towards you. And you feel the activation there. I'm just noticing I did the opposite foot. You always want to keep it equal. Switch legs. It happens. So yeah, pull it towards you. Another breath here. Maybe just give it one little extra nudge of gentle insistence with the exhale. And then release. Keep the knees high again. And one more time. Knee hug. Side to side. And now come back to seated. We'll do a little roll first. Roll on yourself. There we go. It's always nice to do a little back. And now we'll sit again with the brick on our back. And this time we'll do half butterfly. So take the right foot, just place it above the knee, and gently pressing down with the exhale breath. Stay here for a little while. And then bring it back up. Inhale. That was a very long exhale. So go a little bit at your own pace with your breath. Press down. This is the knee that's injured, so it's not going as hard. The other one will go a little further. But you just want to be careful. Listen to your body. Use judgment and awareness. Don't force or strain. Sometimes you can regain flexibility in certain parts of the body after a couple months, sometimes a couple years. Just have to work through it. Causing yourself any injury. Okay, and now the other side, same thing, half butterfly. Pushing down, and putting back up. So just knee drops down further towards the mat, exhale. And then we'll come back to full butterfly again. So both feet together and just a little bounce. This bounce you're making on your own. Just hold your feet there. And now we'll go for another one for the knees. Stay here in the base pose. Just take your hands. You either lace your fingers together underneath your thigh, or if you get the flexibility there, grab your elbows and your forearms just under your thigh, and make a nice big circle either way with the big toe of the foot here. So try to straighten the leg up as completely, this is for the knee, all the way around. Going clockwise first, using the inhale breath as you're going up, and the exhale as you're going down. Nice big circle. This helps strengthen the sides side area of the joint of the knee. And pause at the top, and back around the other way. Release. Before you go to the other side, we'll do some window wipers, shake it off. So feet side to side. And then again, without ever comfortable for you, either the hands just here by the thigh, or catching the elbows, bring the leg up a little higher. Either way, gets the same movement in there. Just extending the leg, making a nice big circle clockwise with the big toe. Add the breath element. Inhale as you're going up. Exhale out, close your eyes. Send that breath to the knee area. And pause at the top, and back around the other way. And release. And side with the whippers again. And now before we go back in small, break up the routine a little bit here. We're going to go for frog. So what is frog? Well, you start off here in tabletop. And from there, this is why they have the double mat. You separate your knees out wider than the mat. Feet are parallel, not back, but parallel. So your legs, the calves essentially are parallel there. And you drop on your forearms. And very simple, you push back. I guess like the legs of a frog. And this is very intense, so go gentle, don't just push back into this without a little bit of awareness and calm. Do it with the exhale breath. Close your eyes. Find that point where you're feeling the benefit of the pose. And you can still maintain a froggy smile. Again, this is a very static pose. You're not going to be, once you hit your point, you're probably not going to be going much further on the same round. What you'll see though is over some days, over some weeks, slowly find yourself arching back a bit further, or sliding back a bit further, and opening those hips. This is probably the most intense of the series for the hips, in my opinion. So a few more breaths here. Rock yourself gently forward. Move the weight off the knees, under the forearm. Then slide your hands back and pull yourself up. And then gently bring in one knee at a time. If you find this is really uncomfortable and you want to try it again, remember you can always use cushions, or if you have a mat like this, you can do a double mat, just holding it over on each side. So a little extra protection for the knees. Just an idea. Okay, so now we will go over here to the wall again and do the rotation for the knee socket. This is one of my favorite ones. And this again, brick here, so back doesn't get cold. Again, the foot goes on top like a half butterfly, but this time I use a forefinger as a guide. You're going to drop it here on top of the knee and go around. You're not moving the finger, you're just using it as a guide because you're getting in here to the hip. And it helps a little bit as you're drawing your circle. Once you have a nice circle going up and around, then you can close your eyes and add the breath synchronizing the breath. And as always, inhale as you're coming up, exhale as you're dropping that knee down towards the mat. Again, this is one to go slowly, not force. And what's nice about it is with each exhale, visualizing the knee just dropping a bit further towards the mat. If you are here, you're changing direction in the circle. Just make sure you got that full rotation, the whole upper part of the leg is following the knee and the finger, making a circle to get into the hip socket there. And then release. And window wipers, feet side to side. And now bring the foot up. Drop it on top. Like half butterfly. And again, using the finger as a pointer, as a guide. Make your circle. Get the full rotation now. And notice on this side, again, the knee gets remarkably closer to the mat than the other side that has the injury. So you might notice the same thing. One side sometimes is more supple, more flexible. And that's just how things are. The important thing is to maintain a daily practice, some sort of daily practice, ideally yoga, to keep everything working, muscles, ligaments, joints, everything. So bring up and around, one more time, and pause at the top, and open your eyes with me, and bring it back the other way. So counterclockwise. Notice the opposite direction you're doing a circle. Close your eyes again. Send that breath to the hip area. And with the feet on the foot. And bring the wiper side to side. And now we'll do a few more things. This one's using a yoga brick. Now, this is a static pose again. But what I like to do with this yoga brick is, it's a seated pose. It's actually called the miracle pose. Normally you're without a brick, but it's more challenging for those of us with a tight hip. So take one foot, let's see if you can see it here. The angle. Okay. Take one foot, you bring it in, the heel right to the brick there. Then you try to get that knee to the mat. If it doesn't reach, put it right here. So you got a modification. Now hopefully the other foot will come down. Otherwise you're gonna run out and get another brick. Now fortunately I've been working on this recently and I can get both knees down. You just come to the edge of the brick, slide forward a little bit. The glute just sort of hanging on the half width of the brick. And this is a really nice way to just passively pull the shoulders back, arms straight, get the knees right there on the mat, and you're opening the hips without too much difficulty, hopefully. This is a nice way to train the body for this pose, the seated pose, without the brick. So little by little getting there. It's all about a progression and a lot of patience. Okay, so now, the other thing you want to do is keep things equal. So it's yoga, you got it, reverse the feet. So now this right foot comes out, left foot comes in, heel all the way to the brick. When you're without a brick, it just goes right to the perineum there, and then the other foot. Now this is the knee that bothers me. You see there's a little bit of space here. So sending that breath like a passageway to the knee there. And then open your eyes, remove the brakes. And now we'll go for one. This is a little bit more advanced, so if you're not real comfortable with it, and you're familiar with it, maybe just go into child's pose here. Might be an option just as a little rest. So, no forcing, no straining. This is pigeon pose. So what does pigeon pose do? Well, you're working the hip by starting off here in tabletop. Place the left foot back on the toes. Bring that knee a little bit forward, dropping onto the calf, and a 45-degree angle. Sliding back. Now you might feel, wow, this is really intense right here. Just stay here. You don't have to go all the way. If you're feeling supple and you feel like you can coax yourself in, then start bending your elbows, lower yourself down. Maybe sort of a sphinx pose here. So you got some support from the arms. And you can, if you feel the activation that you need, you just stay here again. But now if you feel like you want to go a little further, sitting back, if you get the glute onto the floor, fantastic. Without too much discomfort or distress. And then straighten the arms out. And let the head to the back. And to be honest here, I am right at my limit with this knee. But at the same time, it feels good. Yeah, I've done this pose before, so I know it'll be okay. We'll stay here for another breath. Or two. Relaxing the exhale breath into whatever tension you might feel in your hip. And then we're going to lift it now. Lifting the hands, slide the hands towards you. Come up very, very gently. And just roll forward, back onto the knee. Straighten the leg. And bring down the knee together. So, that's one side, pigeon done. Now there's a little reset we'll do with down dog there. That was very intense for the knees, so straighten it out. Curl the toes, just push it back. Dropping the head, heels going towards the mat, forcing the palms, relaxing the head between your arms and shoulders. Again, the forehead a little bit closer, lifting the hips. And then knees coming back down to the mat. Now we'll go for the other side. So opposite foot now. So the right foot in this case goes straight. Put this on the knee, comes forward just a little bit. Calf at 45 degrees. And then coming down to Sphinx. See how you are here. Check your status, your vitals on your knee, your hip. If you're good for going a little bit further, you want to sit down completely on the glute. By the way, for those, if you don't quite get there to the glute, and you are like at a mid spot here between the Sphinx and all the way to the floor, you can use a break and place that as support just over here. So, also another idea. Slide back, collapse forward. And that back leg needs to be straight. You can feel the weight is really distributed on the leg that's bent. And forehead up and down. Slide your hands again back towards you, pushing up. Knee catches one side, the knee comes together. And again, do another down dog here. in the head, lift in the hips. And we'll walk the dog a few pedals here. Really get some relief in the calves. And then coming back down. So now we're on to our final two poses. Laying down, one for the hips, yeah, you guessed it, and the other power shavasana. So don't stop watching. Stay here. Most important two for the finish. First one, the butterfly with a brick. So lay completely flat. Bring your heels in close. Lift the hips. And then just slide the brick out there at the waist, where the flat spot of the spine is. Not too high, don't want to be in the kidneys. But just we have a nice support and it feels good actually. And then the soles of the feet are together as in butterfly. Palms are up, and if you want, you can even tuck the shoulders back together a little bit. Find the weight, wherever's true to go, top the shoulders and back of the crown of the head. So stay here, and what happens is with the brick, a little bit of elevation, the gravity is a bit more favorable for opening the hips. Stay here for a couple breaths, or actually a couple minutes, however long you like. Coming together, lift the hips, remove the block, off to one side, bring the knees together for one last knee hug, relaxing, releasing any tension there, and the back, lower back. And then, as promised, we do power shavasana. What is power shavasana? Well, same thing as normal shavasana, but the legs are elevated up against the wall. So you're getting the benefit of inversion. Now look, I'll bring up the mat a little bit so the base of the spine doesn't get cold on the wall. And you're looking at kind of a factor to keep in mind. So anyway, we'll scoot up as close as we can to the wall. Now keep in mind, if you can do this 15 minutes in the middle of the day, whether you're asleep or not, it feels like you've slept for 2 hours. It's very, very restorative. Very efficient way of giving a reset to the whole body. So get yourself completely flat. Palms are out. Now if you're feeling like you need a little bit more out of this pose, you can just slide the heels and open the abductors. I'm running out of wool on one side. I've got a little ledge in the other. But anyway, it's nice for the abductors here. And the important thing is just close your eyes, relax, feel the benefits of today's practice, particularly in the hips. And if you're not feeling so relaxed, you still want to give a little bit more force to the hips, you can, in here even, butterfly, feet together, pushing the palms. I prefer relaxing power shavasana, so we go back to the abductors. I always like to offer options. feet together, knees together, roll off to one side, and just lay flat, using the two hands as a pillow, and recalibrating here, enjoying a few more calm breaths. Using both hands, go up to seated, and cross-legged, hands to the heart, and say namaste. Thank you very much for joining. Hope you enjoyed the sequence, special hip saga sequence, and I'll be coming back with more installments of this, and we'll see how the progress is, if I can eventually get into lotus pose. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the Michael Sands Yoga, Meditation, even skateboarding and CrossFit occasionally channel here on YouTube, and hope to see you again. Have a great day. Namaste.